The time has finally come. I am finally embracing a return for Carmelo Anthony to the NBA. That's what our topic is here today on Chat Sports. I'm going to break down 5 teams we could see Carmelo Anthony play for next season. So, where will Carmelo Anthony land? Well, let's start with the facts. He wants one final season in the NBA. He wants a farewell tour like his buddy Dwayne Wade. And you guys know that I'm not a big fan of that, but hey, whatever, it's Carmelo's decision. And in all reality, when he was in Denver, and even when he was in New York, he was one of the best pure scorers in the league. I mean, there was discussions at one point of, him versus LeBron. And, now those discussions have quickly fizzled out. But at one point, Carmelo was up there. And we've seen it now. The reason he doesn't have a job is because teams are truly scared of the distractions that follow Carmelo Anthony. I mean, heck, Team USA was scared to give him a job for the summer because they didn't want the distractions. But I'll say this, Carmelo, the last time he played a full season with the Oklahoma City Thunder, just his straight-up numbers weren't that bad. I mean, 16.2 points per game. Pretty good rebounder for a small forward that kind of transitioned into this stretch 4 at 5.8 rebounds per game. Assists, we all know that's not what Carmelo does. And then three-point percentage was okay at 35.7. I love to hate on Carmelo. But at this point, I've finally come to terms with the fact that there's a real shot Carmelo Anthony ends up back in the NBA next season. And the team that makes the most sense, so we'll start here, is the Los Angeles Lakers. He's buddy-buddy with LeBron James. He posted a workout video with him and Chris Paul. We'll get into that trio in just a second here. And another Laker, KUZMA, has been training with Carmelo Anthony. Maybe not the best role model for KUZMA there right now, but hey, to each their own. KUZMA vouched for Melo to get back into the NBA. He wants him there, and the Lakers do have one more open roster spot. Maybe that belongs to Carmelo Anthony, because you see what they've got on the floor for night 1. This is what we're going to predict here at Chat Sports to be the night 1 starting 5 in Los Angeles. LeBron's going to run the point. Danny Green's going to be running the 2. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, with like a giant question mark next to that, is going to be running the 3. Maybe they want Carmelo Anthony taking that starting small forward position. I could see it. They need the wings. They need the wing depth. They need some scoring punch off the bench. That's what Carmelo does. And if you don't want him to be a small forward, you put him at the power forward position next to a guy like Anthony Davis. Maybe it's Melo at the 3, Davis at the 4, Boogie at the 5, whatever it may be. I think there is an opportunity for the Los Angeles Lakers to go out and get Carmelo. You reunite 2 of the 4 members of the Banana Boat crew because, Chris Paul, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Carmelo Anthony. They all teamed up together and they spent some time on that banana boat. Great classic picture. So hey, let me just pitch this, okay? Let's all take a little doze off into dreamland. Carmelo goes to LA, joins LeBron. Then Dwayne Wade's all of a sudden like, hey, wait, maybe I've got something left in the tank. Maybe I'll go join him in LA. And then Chris Paul, he's stuck over in Oklahoma City. Maybe he forces a trade come December and says, hey, send me to Los Angeles. Okay, it's a crazy dream, but if the Banana Boat crew were to happen, that's how it would happen. Okay, I got off onto a rabbit trail there, but how many points per game would Carmelo Anthony average with the Los Angeles Lakers? I'm going to be realistic and say 8 to 12, 12 being a ceiling and, 8 being pretty realistic. Let me know how many you think in the comment section. Let's move on to the Golden State Warriors, another team in California. I really do think they could make some sense for Carmelo. I really kind of hated on this idea at first, and then Tom Downey talked me into it because, yes, the Warriors are hard capped for next season. They only really have a minimum contract to offer. The Ringer even said that the Warriors make some sense for Carmelo Anthony. And once I looked at their lineup, I was like, okay, maybe this is the team. Because you got Steph and D'Angelo Russell in the backcourt. And of course, this is not including Klay Thompson. He'll obviously take over that small forward position once he's back. But right now, is it Alfonso McKinney? I mean, I honestly don't know who's going to be the starting 3 on night 1 for the Golden State Warriors because here are their options. And guys, it ain't pretty. It's Alfonso McKinney. You got a rookie in Jordan Poole, who's really more of a 2-guard. Jacob Evans, a second-year guy who's also more of a 2-guard. Glenn Robinson III, and that whole experiment hasn't worked out outside of some fun athleticism to watch. And then Alec Burks, another 2-guard. So really, your only true small forwards on the team are Alfonso McKinney and Glenn Robinson. So why doesn't Bob Myers just call up Carmelo, say, hey, you know what? Clay's going to come back eventually, but until then, that starting spot is all yours, Carmelo. Come be the third Splash Brother for now, I guess. So do you think Melo would start for the Warriors until Clay returned? If he shows up in good shape, you have to think he's the obvious choice, because what does Alfonso McKinney really do for you? Does he move the needle? I don't think so. And what Melo does, he continues to put butts in seats. So I'd say yes for Carmelo Anthony being the starter until Clay is back. And if you want some more Melo updates, the second he signs, I mean literally when it happens like that, we're going to be live here on Chat Sports giving you all the updates on where he is, where he's going, how he fits in with his new team. You're not going to want to miss it. So subscribe to Chat Sports, hit that little notification bell so that you know when we're live, when we've posted our newest Melo video, and we'll keep you updated all year long. All right, next team, a former team of Carmelo Anthony, one that just makes way too much sense because, of course, this was Carmelo's team, the Denver Nuggets. Now, Melo, he really could bolster that bench in Denver because it's already a really solid bench. I mean, we put them in our top 10 for benches next season, and he would make it better, I think, maybe, right? If you had a veteran presence, it can't hurt that much. You know, if Michael Porter Jr. isn't healthy, that's Carmelo's role right there. So here's the starting five in Denver. You got Jamal Murray, Gary Harris in the backcourt. Paul Millsap and Nikola Jokic are your two big men. And we've got Will Barton starting for now, but they like Will Barton off the bench. And if Melo comes in, maybe they're like, hey, Barton, if you want to sit on the bench, come off, be a six-man, Melo can take your role. And let's be honest, as an NBA fan, as all of us are, returning to Denver would just be very nostalgic. For him to just have his final run with the Denver Nuggets, who are going to be great next year, it'd be pretty fun to watch. And now, obviously, that team in Denver with AI and Carmelo Anthony was so much fun. So if you could bring one of those guys back in today's NBA, in their prime, which one would it be? Type AI for Allen Iverson, the answer. Type CA for Carmelo Anthony. This is a Carmelo Anthony video, so I'll go ahead and say Carmelo Anthony, I guess, even though it'd really be Allen Iverson. Anyway, Toronto Raptors. This team is the quote-unquote betting odds favorites to land Melo next season if he does indeed come back. 3-1 odds. I mean, you're not going to make a lot of money if you bet on the Raptors landing Carmelo Anthony. And in all reality, they could use that kind of veteran forward presence off the bench. You know, this Raptors team, yes, they obviously lost Kawhi Leonard. They lost Danny Green, two great scoring threats. Kawhi was obviously your franchise player for 1 year, I guess. They're still expected to be in the playoff mix. And if you want to be in the playoff mix, you got to have some veteran presence. That's what Carmelo brings you, and he brings you a scoring punch. So in the starting five, you got Kyle Lowry. Obviously, that's a nice veteran to have. Marc Gasol's a nice veteran to have. But then it's OG Anunoby, who's coming off an injury, Norman Powell, who doesn't move the needle, and Pascal Siakam, who you expect to be a star. So maybe you put Anunoby at the two guard and tell Carmelo to take over the small forward position. Now, obviously, it's a big step down from what Kawhi Leonard was last season. Look, they're losing their heart and soul of this team. The reason they won the NBA Finals. You're losing 27 points per game and 7 rebounds and 3 assists and a 37% three-point shooter in Kawhi. So maybe Toronto's like, you know what? We'll take a scoring forward. Why not? Come on, Carmelo, come up to Canada, hang out with Drake a little bit. I think you'll have some fun for your last year in the NBA. I'm predicting Toronto to make it 6 seed as their ceiling. I'll lean more of a 7 seed for the Raptors in the Eastern Conference next season. But let me know what you think the Raptors will end up being seeded in the Eastern Conference next year. Now, I have to thank MyBookie for sponsoring our show. They've done a great job, and we love partnering up with them. And if you want to partner up with them, put some money down on where Carmelo Anthony is going to go. Go to chatsports.com/NBA now. MyBookie's going to hook you up. Use promo code CHATNBA. 100% deposit bonus. You put down $50, you're going to get $50 for free. And after you do that, guys, you can get a free copy of NBA 2K20. I'm going to hook you up, and you can play with Denver Nugget Carmelo Anthony and those throwback teams on 2K if you want to. So here's what you got to do. 3 steps. Sign up and deposit. Place that first bet. Email us. promo@chatsports.com. Okay, 5th team. And I had to have some fun here, okay? Hashtag HaterJimmy is showing the Shanghai Sharks. And you know what? I'm really not hating that much because in all reality, the Shanghai Sharks are like the best team in the Chinese Basketball Association. And if Carmelo Anthony is saying, hey, I just want to play basketball. I want to be a go-to guy on a real team. The Shanghai Sharks are the team for Melo. Now, they really do have, and they have had multiple former NBA players play for their team because Yao Ming is now their owner. The most successful of all of those was Jimmer Fredette. Last season in China, 36 points per game, 5 boards, 5 assists, and 42% from 3. I mean, Jimmer range was unlimited in China. He dropped 72 points in a game with the Shanghai Sharks. And if you're telling me Carmelo Anthony can't do that in Shanghai, you're lying, because I think he can. They also have guys like Monty Eunice just signed with them. James Nunnally just signed with them. Louis Scola, former Houston Rocket, was there last season with the Shanghai Sharks. If Melo really just wants to play basketball and he wants to be a star, you go play for the Shanghai Sharks, make a few $1 million, you're going to be just fine, and you're going to be a god over in China. So put yourself in Melo's shoes. Not Melo's, I guess anybody's, because Melo's not going to the G League, but put yourself in a good basketball player's shoes. Would you rather play professionally in China, so you can go be on Yao Ming's team with the Shanghai Sharks? Would you rather play in the NBA G League, stay in America, but not make nearly as much money? So type C for China and type G for G League.